All right, everybody, welcome back. It's been a couple of weeks, but wow, so much has happened. And we're going to just start it off with our favorite piece of news that came out this week. I'm so happy that this is happening. And it's the resurgence of Cyberpunk. It's about time. They finally put it in a state where it's playable. And we're going to get into it. We're going to get into the show, EdgeRunners. We're going to get into what the game is like now, because I have put a few hours into it. I know Brendan's put a few hours into it.
Yeah, me too.
And we'll definitely, give our 2 cents about it, whether or not it's actually, in a state where it's worth buying right now and getting into the world of Cyberpunk as it is. And where it's going from here, because obviously, we know that this is great. The success is awesome, but there's obviously a lot in the future for Cyberpunk. But really quick, drop a like if you enjoy the content. If you guys want to see more content, genuinely leave comments below. Any ideas, anything that you guys want to put your 2 cents in on, just go ahead and leave it. We love responding. But let's get right into it. And Cyberpunk has been peaking concurrently at 1 million players. It's a long time coming. I have been playing the game. I played it first on PS4. I had a PS4 Pro before I sold it to GameStop at an exorbitantly cheap price, which is criminal. But
rip off.
I had to get my affairs in order for the PS5. But I played it on PS4. It was horrendous. I was able to get the refund, and I then ended up getting it on PC. Playing it on PC, a lot of people will tell you it really hasn't been that much of an issue, right? The problems have been there, but they're nowhere near as prevalent as they were on consoles. Finally, with patch 1.6, the EdgeRunners update, we finally get a playable version of Cyberpunk. And from the few hours that I put into it, it's not bug-free by any means necessary, but it is much more playable on consoles. And that being the PS5 version. Now, that's not, a crazy indicator of it, because a lot of people are still on PS4 and Xbox, Xbox One, the past-gen consoles.
God help them.
A lot of people can't get their hands on new stuff. But we can safely say that they've abandoned those consoles and they're not supporting them really that much anymore.
They never should have tried to optimize for those to begin with. That's where they fell apart with this game. You know what I mean? In my opinion, if they didn't do that then.
Yeah, I just think they were trying to do too much for a game that's ambitious. You really can't try to optimize it for so many different consoles.
Spread too thin.
Yeah, let alone the generations, like you said.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see that it's there. At this point, what are your thoughts on the game? Have you gotten a chance to play it, Brendan, since the updates?
So I would I have. I would say Cyberpunk 2077 is like the definition of like better late than never in my opinion.
Of course.
My story with the game is basically I got it when it first came out. My brother got it for me for Christmas when it first came out for the PS4 Pro also. And it was so funny because like I was like gonna get it originally, and then like I heard how it was like I was gonna get it on my Xbox, and I heard how it was trash for console because I didn't have like the new Xbox. And so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna like wait to get it, or like wait till I get a new console, or wait till I get a PC to play Cyberpunk. But then like my brother got it for me on the PS4 Pro, and I was kind of like, oh no, I was like, I felt bad because I was like, you haven't read online how like trash these versions are getting, and he's like, oh no. And so I played it anyway. So and actually it was definitely obviously very buggy, and definitely there was a lot of like glitches, and it was kind of like a struggle to play at times, and it crashed. My PS4 would crash all the time. But I did manage to play probably about like 3/4 of the game, but I did actually never finish it, and I kept meaning to go back.
You got to 3/4 of the game?
Yeah, I got to like I got
in the bug state.
Yeah, so I got to the point of the game where it was like make sure you save now, because like this is like the end, like the last little like story mission, whatever, you know what I mean, where it gives you like that little like message before you like go into one of the the end arc of like a game or whatever. I remember I got to there and like I saved, and I was like, all right, this is a good place to stop, and then I never picked it up again. I don't know
That's
why.
The story of it. Mostly everyone who's played this game, they didn't get to 3/4.
But then I saw EdgeRunners came out like a few weeks ago now, and I saw they were having a sale on Steam, and I was like, you know what, I might as well re-download it on Steam. I have like my PC is like 2 years old now, but I just got a brand new, really nice monitor. So I was like, I might as well like re-download Cyberpunk now while it's on sale, and EdgeRunners is out, too.
Hit us with the specs. What's the monitor, man?
I have no idea.
4K 60, 4K 120. What got? 1440p.
No, it's like whatever is the best of the best. It's that whatever's the highest stuff. Like I just know it's really good.
Brendan's like, I threw my money at it. I don't know what it does, but exactly. I threw all my money at it, and it's nice.
Exactly. I mean, it's like a 30 something inch monitor. It's like a nice like wide like flat like It's an Acer. I don't even know. I'm not one with the hardware. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's fine. I have a Predator too.
And I've been like it's so seamless on like my PC. Like everything, I got all the settings on ultra. I turned ray tracing off because the ray tracing, the frame rate drops like a shit ton.
It goes
and that
like
was definitely
15.
Yeah, that was an issue. So I could like barely play with the ray tracing on. But once I turn the ray tracing off and just set everything to ultra, regardless, just with ray tracing off, it runs like so smooth, seamlessly. It's amazing, and it looks great. It still looks great. So
the game really doesn't look that different because they do have screen space reflections in the game, so it really does help. But first, I'm gonna go to show. How happy are you knowing that this game is where it is, and are you gonna pick it up? Do you have it?
Well, first off, I'm lost at y'all PC Master Race guys over here. I'm over here sitting in the corner with my controller, like.
So what system do you have, Show? Let the people know.
I am the original OG Xbox One user.
Therefore, you cannot play Cyberpunk.
Yes, I cannot enjoy the fucking game. I am not. I am excluded completely from this conversation.
Not even the Xbox One X.
Not even the Xbox One X yet, because I want to just skip to PC, bro. Honestly, I feel like they're kind of getting a No Man's Sky type of deal going on, where they're finally coming back from the dead, and that's always a good thing. You know, it's
more
unfortunate.
Coming back from a lie, right? Like these are two situations where two companies they came back from a lie, a very bad lie. Do you remember those Night City Wire episodes they did? They still did one actually the other day for the EdgeRunners show, but it's basically this like kind of podcast style show that they were doing, just showing off details of the city. They showed off a mission, like 40 minutes of gameplay at one point, where you're roaming through the city. You got one of the missions. They're speaking about, you know, the mega buildings and the different ecosystems, and each one is a living, breathing entity of its own. None of that shit was in the game when it came out.
Oh, yeah, I know. I remember seeing the clips of AIT posing everywhere.
Exactly. But now we finally getting that version of the game, which is honestly what everyone wanted. Because if there is one game that people 100% did not want to give up on, and they wanted to see it be in a playable state, it was this one. You know? Hello Games with No Man's Sky was more of a comeback through sheer will. You know, because no one really cared. When it came out, everyone was like, yo, this is boring. There's nothing going on. It's empty and it's buggy and glitchy. And it's like, yo, you completely lied to us, right? There's nothing at the center of the universe. You know, spoiler alert, you get to the center, nothing happens. You just go back out to the beginning. And it really turned a lot of people off because there was a lie in there in terms of the way they presented the game and how it was shown to us when it came out. So Cyberpunk definitely had a huge comeback, but let's get to the root of why this comeback happened, and let's go and talk about this amazing
kind of like feel, you know what I mean? And I don't know, it just like it feels like very like classic, like anime-ish, not very much kind of like different from like what we see a lot of nowadays, and like it's very like much more mature, it's much more like bleak and noir, and not as like, you know, it seems more old school in like a good way. You know what I mean? That's just it's very refreshing in my mind, in the anime sense. And then also in terms of being a Cyberpunk property, it does a great job. I kind of like how it doesn't hold your hand through the Cyberpunk universe and like reintroduce stuff.
Yeah, it basically says if you have to play the game to understand the little details that are going on in the show. For example, when someone calls, right? The calls look exactly as they do in the game. They come out with the name. They have the same noise, right? They have like some sliders that they showed at one point that are the sliders from the game. So it's literally like you're seeing the game Cyberpunk, and it has like an anime show like on some TV somewhere, and you just sat down and watched it. You remember GTA like had that? GTA 5, like they have like full-on radio shows that you can listen to. So it's really nice to see that they just took the aesthetic and the atmosphere of Cyberpunk and didn't change it at all. And just told the story through it. Because at the end of the day, one thing I can say is that this show will leave you realizing that this is just one story in a city full of millions just like it. Right? When the show ended for me, I was like, wow, you know what's crazy is that all happened in like a short span of time. And there were probably like a million other stories. I was probably doing my V missions on Cyberpunk while they were going through this show, right? There are some characters that show up in the show from the game. One being Wakako. I think Wakako Osada shows up at some point. But I think she's mentioned. And it's just cool to see that they connected it that way. And the little details, like I said, the menu icon showing up in the show whenever they make a call, things like that. That's just the atmosphere that people wanted in it. And it's perfect for a show, ripe for a second season. But yeah, it does finish after one season. I do have to tell you guys that. Don't expect like
that's what I've heard already.
I
so it's like a one-off?
like that. It's not a one-off. It's more of I think they're gonna do multiple stories in the universe of Cyberpunk.
Like an anthology.
And,
Kinda?
yeah, just basically like the Dark Pictures anthology, where each game is like a different story, right, in the same universe. I think that's what they're gonna do with Cyberpunk. I don't think it'll necessarily be called EdgeRunners in the next one, but it'll still be a Cyberpunk show. It'll just be like a different sub name. But it's all really good because it worked, right? I know for a fact they didn't anticipate this show to bring back players to the game the way it did, because they showed the surprise on Twitter when they announced it.
Oh, nice.
But it's really nice to see the public receive the show and Cyberpunk this way.
Yeah,
It happened with Witcher.
They just like hit like a perfect like fever pitch moment. I feel like in terms of the show and like the update and like the resurgence, it's just like a perfect like fever pitch. And I feel like I feel happy and good for CD Projekt Red, because I think
They definitely made a lot of mistakes along the way.
Exactly.
That they paid for, and they're pretty much telling everyone, or maybe the situation is telling everyone. Everyone's feeling like, you know what, they paid their dues. They've obviously put so much work in.
Yeah.
The game still received a lot of hate because it's still buggy. But come on, what game is perfect?
Yeah,
At
but
this point, the game is beyond playable, and it's Cyberpunk 2077. So
Exactly.
Good.
The underlying like narrative also is in my mind is like good enough to what was wrong with the game was just the bugs. It wasn't never the story. It was never like anything about like that's those parts of the game. That stuff's all actually good. And we're seeing
but then again, one of the things that I will point on is the quest glitches that they had. There were so many quests you couldn't finish them because the game would glitch out and wouldn't allow you to do whatever action or pick up whatever item you needed to complete the quest, or people wouldn't show up. They disappeared. There's a side mission where I had to contact somebody and they weren't in my contact list, and there was no way to get to them, and it was a glitch when I searched it up. So now all of that's gone. I personally can say that quest is working now, and I'm on my second playthrough. So I'm ready to put in whatever amount of hours, because the EdgeRunners content, I never finished the game. I got very close to the end, but I never quite finished the game. It's going to be nice to finally get to experience it in one shot and see how it goes from here. In terms of the future, we didn't just get Cyberpunk 2077 show. We also got their announcement of their DLC, Phantom Liberty.
Right.
From what you guys can gather about the trailer, what do you guys think about that? Do you guys think it has potential? Do you just think that it's, something we need to see first and hope? Or do we trust Cyberpunk right now to release a CD Projekt to release a good product when it comes to the DLC?
In terms of the story, I think it'll be safe to say it'll be good. I have no reason to doubt the story, but I mean, hopefully they've learned not to release anything in like shit state.
The 2023 window they gave is obviously very wide, right? It's the whole year, but it gives them an opportunity to move at their own pace when it comes to developing the DLC.
And don't rush. That's what.
Yeah,
just don't
I mean, at
rush.
the end of the day,
Take your
it's
time.
an addition to the game, right? But there are, I think from the trailer, you saw that they're adding new weapons from the show into the DLC.
Yeah.
Brendan, I'm not sure if you're aware, if you got to this point yet, but it's not really spoilers. There's a weapon in the show that is used that's basically this lit up string, right?
Yeah.
That you can use to literally wrap around people, and does it like slice them when you tighten it or something like that? Like, what does it do?
I think it can like heat up and like slice through things.
Yeah, basically it's like a wire that it reminds me of the thing you use to plug in to jack into things in the game, right?
Yeah.
But instead it's like lit up and it's really hot, and it's like a lightsaber but a string. It's gonna be in the game. They showed it in the trailer. I didn't notice what it was at the time, but once I watched the show and I went back to play the game, and I went back to watch the trailer, I noticed the weapon is there. So they're adding a few more things into it that doesn't seem like they're going to break the game in terms of it's going to be too difficult for them to manage it. I'm just happy that they're handling the glitches, and they said 2023. And who knows what else they got down the pipeline. They didn't give us a whole freaking laundry list of what they want to release. They just said, look, we got this DLC coming out. We got this trailer. It looks dope. The new United States of America. I don't know what that is, but it looks dope. And I know Cyberpunk is going to tell a great story when it comes to that. But the bombshell, baby, kind of on the fence about it, but it's still a bombshell. Keanu's returning for the DLC. Did you guys know that?
Yeah, I did hear that. I did.
If I was him, I would want to stay far away from this IP as possible, because my name is associated with a crime, basically, in terms of what they did in line. But it's gotten better.
A crime?
It's gotten better. So it does make sense that he's like, hey, you guys are looking good right now. Can I jump back in? And I'm sure they had talks a long time ago because it takes time to record, the lines and everything like that. Maybe they were recorded in the beginning in the first place. And he doesn't even have to come back in, but it's nice to see that they're still supporting it. I don't know if they're going to be supporting it past 2023. What do you guys think about that?
Well, if you're investing on a new DLC for that year, then you're going to have to...
You think that will be the last we see of this Cyberpunk game?
Nah.
And they're just going to go to Witcher again?
No.
No, I think if they see enough interest, they're gonna, especially now that they're getting over 1 million concurrent players like for a week straight. I think
they'll change course.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna change. I don't know if they ever. I think they were trying to maybe wait and seeing. I don't know if they ever like necessarily shifted one way or the other. I think maybe they kind of like just got quiet and like didn't make any big moves. But I mean, they've already said they're developing like The Witcher 4, like a new trilogy, right? They already said that, and so now
the next saga.
Yeah,
not the next game. The next saga of The Witcher is in development. It's in a great place right now. You gotta be happy for CD Projekt that they finally got the respect they deserve, because these developers, they put in hours and nights, restless nights into these games, and it's always a shame when it comes out like this, and people hate the game, and they put so many nasty comments on the YouTube channel, and they see all of these things, especially developers. They're not management. They go home and see that. So I'm happy to see that they can finally be in a spot where they can go from here, right? It's not all about bug fixing. There's still bugs, but they can put their focus to other things. So we'll definitely be excited to see Phantom Liberty when it comes out, and the future of the Cyberpunk anime series as they stand right now. If you guys enjoy the content, if you guys have any questions about what's going on, if you guys want to add any 2 cents in, just leave a comment down below, drop a like, and subscribe. We're going to be releasing 2 to 3 videos a week, so we'll definitely have a lot to talk with you guys. And this is Filmic Gaming. This is Brendan on one mic. I got Show on the other.
Yep.
You're...
And we'll see you next time. Peace out, guys.